Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel. So I'm very excited about this makeup tutorial. I'm launching our blushes in this makeup tutorial. I'm so excited about it, but I'm also telling you about my most bizarre consignment purchase to date. I bought a $4,000 cape. That's Carolina Herrera. I'm gonna tell you how much I spent for it and why it was so bizarre. Are you ready? Let's get this beauty started. All right, ladies, we're gonna go into a beautiful makeup tutorial. Lots of things to talk about. I have a little story I'm gonna tell you about my recent consignment. Took me a while to figure out what actually arrived. And I am going to be launching my blush palettes. This is very exciting. You know what I'm gonna try to do though? This is Lumify. This is for redness. I've seen so many people talk about this eye drops, so I've been using them, but I'm gonna put it on this beautiful blemish, because when you use Visine, use any anti-redness on a blemish, it should take down the redness. So before I put on my no redness color corrector, please work. These blemishes are staying longer than usual. I haven't really had breakouts, but I know why. I've been burning the midnight oil. So this is why. I know it is. These are like, let's stay forever and be really, really painful. So prepping my skin, I'm just going to use the Physio Lift Serum. So we are launching the blush palettes. I used to have one blush palette called Ageless. I've discontinued it, and I have brought out 3 new blushes. I just wanted to bring them out. I didn't want to do pre-launch or anything. I wanted you to be able to see them and then be able to enjoy them. So I've worked really, really hard on the colors of putting them all together. There are 3 blush palettes, and I'm going to go through those with you now. They come in my just gorgeous packaging. This is something that I'm so proud of. They match, obviously, our compacts for Creme Brulee, which is our bronzer that is made for mature skin, and our Nikita Banana, which is our brightening powder that we've had forever. That is one of our top sellers. So in this beautiful compact, you have 3 wells. You have 3 well blushes, and they go from the first color scheme that I designed for you is called Ballerina Rose. I love it. It's like your everyday, beautiful, natural, just pop of pink cheek. I wanted you to have something that was a little bit of depth, could contour if you wanted to, not overpowering. So that is Ballerina Rose. And then I showed you recently in one of my makeup tutorials, the Afterglow. It is a peach. So if you love that peach glow, if you love to warm up the skin like that, you have the peach. And I love, as an artist, I love to swirl. I love to customize. I wanted you to always have that option. I didn't want you having single blushes everywhere. I've never wanted that. That's why I have 3 well eyeshadow palettes and 3 well blushes, because that gets annoying. And then you're like digging and looking for stuff, and it should be in one palette. So that is my Afterglow. And then I thought you would be really excited about In Full Bloom. It's more of a plum kind of combination. Now the colors are going to look different because of my lighting here. And also when I do it close up, it'll be a little bit different, but you get the gist of how beautiful they are. And if you love Naughty Nancy or Sweet Carol eyeshadow palettes, if you love my plum eyeliner or Aperitif or even Cocoa 13, the In Full Bloom will be a really nice compliment for you. So inside, I did an extra little touch for you. Inside the compact, it says, let's get this beauty started. I want you always to, first of all, I wanted you to feel incredible when you saw the packaging. And then when you see the rose, you know that it's an open rose. So you're open to new makeup. You're open to new possibilities, embracing change. And then when you open it up, you see, let's get this beauty started. So it brings you back to the channel. Like, yes, let me get this beauty started. Let me get my beauty started. How am I going to enhance myself today? What am I going to say to myself that's positive about my beauty? Instead of looking at what's wrong or what you don't like constantly, because that's never going to get you to the finish line. Let's reframe that and say, you know what, let's get this beauty started. Let me add some color to my face. Let me feel good about myself. I'm worth it. This is what I should be doing. I should be taking care of myself. So blush palettes are here. I'm very excited about it. And we're going to go in with, I'm going to be doing Lashify today. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about doing lashes like this. It dramatically changes your look, and I know you'll love it. Mature women should always have this little trick or this little technique in their repertoire when it comes to makeup, because you have those events that come up. You have the anniversaries, the birthdays, the weddings, the baby, whatever it is. You have those in your life, and you should have that special something that you can do that you'll look amazing in photos. You'll be memorable. You'll look at yourself and think, wow, really look incredible. looks like you had your makeup done professionally. You can do this. I showed you False Scare at the drugstore. Lots of ladies were commenting on how they love it. They use it. I was thrilled. Now we're going to go into the same concept, but this is Lashify. So this is going to be something that you can customize more. You have different colors, all different colors of the spectrum when it comes to the lashes. They're softer. They come in lots of different lengths. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using. Now, with that said, it's really about not wearing a lot of makeup. So I'm going to be using Laura Mercier Rose Thorn. So this is just, it's in like the purple family, plummy. I'm going to just be using this over my eye primer so I can just do the lashes and call it a day. Don't need to do eyeshadow, anything like that. Let's just put on the eye primer right now. And let's talk about my Carolina Herrera cape, shall we? So I am not really a capey person, but I recently had requested from Alice Walk. She's a designer. She shows older women, I think it's her mother actually, in her photos, like on her website, what have you. And I happened to come across, and I think it was on Instagram maybe. And I thought, you know what? I want to support a woman-based company that does show older women. And she has these beautiful pashminas, these cashmere pashminas. So I bought one in cream because I knew I would wear it all the time. Then I happened to be at an event in Palm Beach at a designer. She's a jewelry designer's house. And I met the PR girl from Instagram. She's like, oh my gosh, I know your account, what have you. I said, so funny. I just bought something from Alice Walk. We've stayed in touch together, and I saw that they came out with this cape that is a camel cape. It's a short one. And I have a trip coming up in October in cooler weather, and I thought this would be perfect, and I really want to support them. So they sent that to me. So when I was online looking at all my crazy consignment stuff that I love to do and search and what have you, I saw this Carolina Herrera cape that was a kind of like an orange red piped with pink. I haven't seen it in any of the runway shows, what have you. So I thought, oh, maybe this will be nice. I'll have camel one that's shorter from Alice, and then I'll shoot that, and then I'll have this one. I mean, maybe it could be a cape, like a long-term cape wearer. So I bought it, and I bought it for $200, and it came and it smelled really weird. So I put it outside to like air out, what have you. Okay, let's go into doing a little bit of the cream shadow on the lashes. So, or on my eyelid. So I put it outside. I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And let me just air it out because I think it's wool. And it says it's an extra small, but I knew from the measurements it was going to fit because it wasn't a true extra small. Like I was like, there's just no way. So when it came and had the receipt from Neiman Marcus, this lady bought it October 24th, 2020. So now I had a timestamp of when this was bought. So I thought, okay, great. Let me go and Google the collection from 2020. I got to see this. So I went on and I saw the runway show and I see the cape and I'm like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. It's to the ground. Mine's not. Where is mine? So I was like, it has this different like belt. Like it was like this kind of skinny. I wasn't sure if it was like a chain belt or what. I was like, what is this? So I keep perusing. I keep looking. I'm like, where is it in the collection? Maybe it's an exclusive for Neiman Marcus. Maybe that's it. Sometimes like Oscar comes out with exclusives for Neiman's or Saks, what have you. But I'm like, this is 2020. I doubt that they would do that. It's more vintage that will do that. So I was really perplexed. I couldn't find it. And I thought, all right, well, I'll go back later. I have to fix dinner, what have you. So I did that. Let's check this out and see what it looks like. Does this look good? All right, that's just exactly what I wanted. We just have a little wash of color because it's all about the lashes. No liner, nothing like that. So what we're going to do is let's perfect the skin and then we'll go back to putting on the Lashify so we can get into a little bit in depth there. So I did do a little serum here. I'm going to put a little bit more on. All right, serum's in the skin. Let me just put on a little bit of my rose lip balm. So rose lip balm's on. Face is hydrated. I feel like I could probably do a little bit more just peachy. Why not? So I was fixing dinner and I still couldn't figure it out. So I sat there while I was cleaning the dishes and I was thinking to myself, I just don't get it. I don't understand what came. I don't even know what that is. And then I was like, oh my gosh, they cut the bottom of the cape and they made that belt. They made the loops and they made the belt. That's probably what happened. So I ran back into my styling room and I looked at the bottom of the cape and I was like, oh my gosh, they cut it. They cut it. She must have been shorter and it was probably too long for her. And maybe she didn't like it after she cut it or I don't know what. But I was thinking to myself, she just spent $4,000 on this cape and she cut the bottom of it. And it wasn't even like it seemed like they cut it, like they were cutting it to be straight. It was kind of like, oh no. So I thought to myself, I'm going to be the only one that is wearing a Carolina Herrera cape from 2020 that somebody created a new style. So I thought, well, listen, I spent $200 on it. It's okay. BB Cream and Light coming out in September. I thought, Oh my gosh, this is so interesting. You never know what you're going to get. That's my whole thing about consignment, especially when you order online. I have no idea what's coming, and it's always a surprise. Oh, great. It came with the price tag. Okay, interesting. Oh, this is who bought it before. So I have some kind of knowledge. But anyway, that is one of my best buys. If you think about the price and the quality and the designer, it's one of my most bizarre. They don't tell you in the description. By the way, this has been cut, altered, and restyled, and you'll love it. Believe you me, you'll love it. I really enjoy my, mystery of figuring out what's going on with what comes. So that is my little cape story from my recent consignment. I think it's actually a pretty good deal. Okay, BB cream is on, but I do still see a little bit of this guy here. I want to make sure I get him. This zit is lasting forever. All right, so now I feel a little bit better. So we have beautiful BB cream on. Let's just dust a tiny bit with Nikita Banana. This is my brightening powder. I'm going to I can take a little sponge if I want to. I'm going to take my blush, just my angled blush brush, and I'm going to just tap on and just set in my T-zone. Nikita Banana is on. Now I'm going to just take my Shu Uemura lash curler. We'll curl our lashes prior to doing the Lashify. Lashes are up. That's a very important aspect. So now I am going to go in with the Gossomers in B. These are the lashes that I chose, the B10, 12, and 14. I think that these are the most natural. They have a beautiful curve to them. So this is how I like to do them. So when I was doing lash extensions, I usually did, they come in millimeters. So I usually did, most popular was 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s. So you gradually go up. That's what's so beautiful about Lashify, is that you can design your lash line the way you want to with the lengths. You don't really have that option so much with Falscara. And you could go into doing some Ardell lash trios in short and medium, but you still don't really get being able to design your lash. And once you get into this, ladies, you're going to want to design your lash. You're going to want to have like shorter, maybe you want to have a burst where we call them, they have starburst ones where you have more in that arch where your eyebrow arches. You can put one there and then you can taper down. So sometimes you can go 9s, 10s, and I'm talking about the length in millimeters. So these are 10s. I did 10s, 12s, and 14 because I want to see some kind of drama to it. If you want all short, you can do that too. So you can do 8, 9, 10, 11s, and then come back down to 9. You can do all different types. It just depends on what look you want. All natural, a little glam. So that's what's going to dictate what it looks like, is the size, the length of these. And they also have different ones for curl. You can get different curls. So that's what's really neat. So they also have, like we talked about, this is a little bit easier to use, is their tweezer, because it's curved. So it actually goes and when you clamp down to sandwich them together, it actually forms to the eye. You clamp down, which is just your lashes. So you're fusing the extension to your own lashes. So I picked out I told them I would really like to have the bondage with the is called Charcoal Flex. This is their strongest bond. So with the Falscara at the drugstore, that would be called the Overnighter. So I want the strongest bond that I can get. And remember, less is more. That's why you have this tiny little brush with the teeth. It's not about putting it on like mascara. This is a bonding. You don't want to go crazy. You want to have just enough. Don't do too little because then you're not going to have enough. So I go to the base and then I just comb up. I don't want any clumps. I want to make sure, see, I see a little clump there. I want to go to the base and hopefully this actually applies a lot more than the Falscara one. I don't want all these clumps here. All right, I think I'm good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my B10. So this is going to be, these are a little bit easier to take off. You take them off, pull out, and you try not to ruin the lash also. I go to just hold at the tip, and then I'm going to go right, these are my shortest ones, so I'm going to come right underneath here, and I'm going to let it go. So take it again, hold on a second, and I'm going to put them right like that. Perfect. I think we're going to do 2 B10s, and then we'll go to the longer lash. I'm opening the 12s now, and I'm going to use my tweezers because I feel like I have a little bit more control. So I'm going to pull it out, and we're going to go right underneath. I like to match them up so they're laying right next to each other. And so now this is going to give me some nice height. So taking another 12, placing it right at the base. Looks so good. Ah, so good. Now let me look and see. You know what? I'm just going to stick with the 12s. I'm coming down now. I don't want to do 14s being too long. I don't want to lengthen the lash too long like that. So I'm going to just do another 12. And then at the very end, I'm going to take a 10. So I'm going to go back shorter, and I'm going to just put this at the very end. Usually if you go shorter at the end, they'll last longer. So I'm going to just put that right there. If I'm able to get it to stay right, so little. I can overlap them actually. So there we have it. Now I got to tell you, this seemed to be a little bit more of a struggle to put on than the falscara, believe it or not. I kind of feel like the falscara was a little bit easier to do. Let's leave that one off because I don't think he wants to be on there. I'm going to sandwich them together, but you know what? I'm going to use their little tweezer. I come in like that, and I just squeeze down. Not to worry, this is very safe. There's no sharp anything. I'm just making sure that they're all fused together. So there I go. They're going to stay on. Remember, you want to sleep on your back. You don't want to sleep on the side. You will crimp them. Silk pillowcase. This will last as long as you maintain them. You don't tug on them. You don't touch them. You don't put oils near your eye. You wash around your eye with maybe a eye makeup remover pad. So you want to really baby them because you're not done at a salon where it's basically bonded to your actual natural lash. These do not damage your lashes, but this is tiny bit of cream shadow. And then I have the lashes. It looks like I have eyeliner on. It looks like, I mean, look at the difference. So amazing. Pictures, your eyes are going to pop. I just think this is such a great feature for mature women, and it's so underrated. Like no one really takes advantage of this technique. Underneath, I feel nothing. They're not heavy. They don't feel like, oh my gosh, if I have contacts in, perfect. I wear contacts. If I have my glasses on, they're not too long. They don't hit them. So now let me just do this and I'll come back and we're going to do the blush. I have to leave this off at the end. I was going to try to max it, but it wouldn't match. So this is what's really important. It's mapping out what sizes you want and really spacing them out properly. So if you want to get a little small one at the end, you have enough room, but I don't have enough room. So I'm just going to leave it like that. But just makes you feel so good. I get so excited about what these look like and how easy they are to apply and how dramatic they make you look. I mean, again, shorter, mocha, they have brown, they have blonde, they have all different colors. So that's what's really nice about Lashify is you have more options, lots of tutorials, lots of ways to customize. I just think it's really neat. Now, let's put on the glass. This is going to be like the sealer, like we did when we had the falscara. They had the sealer. This is basically to take off any of that stickiness. This also has a little ball at the end of flocked, so you could go in to make sure that you're sealing the lashes so they're going to last as long as possible. So what do we think about blush? I think that I really could do In Full Bloom, or I could do the Ballerina Rose, which I think I'm going to do Ballerina Rose. So let's take our blush, and I think I'm going to just swirl together and give really a nice, beautiful, soft, silky, just color to my face. Now I'm wearing just something neutral because I wanted you to see, not compete with any kind of colors or anything like that. Really get a beautiful, just healthy kind of glow, like radiant. And that's what's really nice about these powders, that they're so smooth that it's almost like it's coming from underneath your foundation BB cream. So it's not sitting on the skin. You're going to get a little bit of that radiance too. So it's not flat. That was another thing that was really important to me. Also, if you wanted to go into the darkest color, let me just take a powder brush. I'm going to just take a little bit of that, and you can do kind of contouring a little bit on the base with the darker color. Anytime you feel like maybe you have too much blush, which you really can't because it's going to kind of work in with your skin, and you want it to be more powerful when you first put it on, and then you're going to see it settle down. But you can always take your foundation buffing brush, just go over because you're going to have foundation or BB cream still left on the brush. I'm going to use my lip pencil in Silk, and then I could use Rosé All Day also if I wanted to. And then I think I'm gonna go into either Pretty Smart or Nikol, or maybe I will mix the two. I did connect my Cupid's bow just a tad to give my lips a little bit of fullness. I have a great video on that technique that I love doing for all of my clients that sit in my chair. And let's do a little mixture. I haven't done this with you before yet. I'm going to mix Pretty Smart and Nikol together. So I'm going to use Nikol, which is going to be a little bit deeper, not putting it fully on my lips. And then I'm going to take my Pretty Smart and go over. This is a really great way to get a custom color. And then I can take my champs, basically going in with my whole color scheme here, and just do the middle, give a little of that shine to the lip. You can do the whole lip, you can just do the gloss if you want to, but this is a look that came together. I have these beautiful lashes on, Clarins. It's called Fix Makeup, is my setting spray. And you have a gorgeous look, hardly any makeup on. I mean, think about it. I used a cream shadow. The lashes are doing everything, giving that depth, that darkness, just beautiful. Again, you can use brown. You can use lighter lashes because they have that option. Going in with the same kind of beautiful soft lip, beautiful blushes now, ladies. You have lots of options. I'm really, really thrilled. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Leave in the comments below if you are trying these lashes, if you want to have something that's a little bit different for one of your events coming up, holidays coming up. I want you to really try this and to tell me, do you think it's like the best thing ever for mature eyes? Until my next video, I'll see you later.